What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today I'm out with Little Man at Dave & Buster's. We're about to go play some games and eat, and then we are going to go get some knee pads for his wrestling training. So I'm going to show you what he's playing right now. He's pretty excited. Playing some VR game. He's all lost. Look at him. That's a weird ass kid right there. Let's see what he's gonna do. I have to turn the camera the wrong way, but good, he's out of it. There he is. Yeah, you better go normal. Playing the Star Wars game. It's pretty badass. So we're having a good time tonight with some tickets. Have this burger that I like eating here. And just chill, man. Love spending time with this kid. Yeah, it's great. So we'll watch him play a little bit, and then we'll see what else is up. Try to win some tickets. Bonus, I don't know what for. There we go, now we're getting another shit down there I went down.
There's what?
There's all the stuff I went down there. Right over here.
You want me to get up?
Oh yeah, buddy. Come on. This one's banging to come on. It's glitched in there pretty good. We have to come this angle.
Oh, where's that fish ball?
Okay, we played some games. Now we're about to eat. We got some really good food. Bishop won a big prize. I think he wants to show you real quick. Show me your prize you won. Worked all day for this thing.
I gotta get it. Hold on, guys.
Oh, money. It's worth the $80 right there. Now, we haven't cashed in our tickets yet. He just played some little gimmick over there. We're going to eat, play some more games, and then head to go get some knee pads for his wrestling. So I'll talk to you in a bit. We'll show you what the food looks like when it comes. Delicious, delicious, delicious. That's called a beast mode burger. Fries and flatbread with pepperoni. For 400 tickets. You put it down now. You can get that in a bunch of stuff. It doesn't got to be one thing worth 4,000. You can get a bunch of different things. Just get a bunch of small things till you get there. You have a hell of a ticket for. Was it 4,600 and something?
Yeah.
We'll be getting that. That's what he wanted right there. Just a little shorts. This will take most of our day, him picking the right thing. He's overwhelmed right now. Tell us what you got, what you came up on.
Got a squishy ball. That's like got a shark.
Shark hand, I was playing with the first thing he grabbed. Just the last one. Hey, what's going on, everyone out there? Hope you got to see the beginning of the episode. Me and Bishop had a great day. I wanted to come in here and tell a story about it, but I get too emotional when I always talk about my kids. And I'll say this, that when you're a kid, biggest part of his day is wanting to hang out with you. That's some powerful shit, man. That kid is just an amazing little kid, man. He's just a special kid, man. I love that kid. I love my little man. But anyways, we were able to go hang out. We went to Dave & Buster's. He hasn't been there in a couple of years. We had a great time in there. He hit it big with the tickets and ended up having like 4,600 tickets. So he bought a couple things and just had a real good time, man. And we went and bought some knee pads for him for training. He's been doing a little bit of training with us at the dojo. So it's going good, man. I got to train a little bit with Titus on Tuesday. I haven't really been in the ring with him much. To about a year. It was good, man. Yeah, the kid's way bigger, so it's a little harder to move around. But it was definitely, I was able to move around there a little bit. It felt way better. Being there with somebody who knows a little bit more than the other guys I was training with. So it was cool, man. I'm looking forward to getting in there tomorrow and rolling around a little bit more. Had a couple students too. Class progressed really well. One of them's kind of been training for a bit. She had her first match a few weeks ago, and it was against my daughter, Salem. So it was pretty good working with her. And then another kid who's kind of trained a little bit with another guy, and then he's an MMA guy, so he's a shooter. So it's always rough to work with those guys, but the kid's got some potential. I really like the way he does some stuff in there. It's unlike the other combat fighters that I've worked with, so it was pretty cool. But having said that, I had one of my buddies who also trains people. Been doing it for a while. Sometimes I get some of the vets or my friends that been around the circuit for a while, ask me questions, and they want me to say on my YouTube, and they want me to basically talk shit about somebody because they know what I want to say, or they know what they know what they think the answer is, and want me to bash them. But I won't. I'm not gonna bash people unless the time's right. Unless it, I don't fire the first shot usually. But anyways, he just asked me because a couple of his students were watching one of my videos and was asking what a mud show is, and they said that Ugly talks a lot about working for shitty promoters, and he's like, but how do you know if your promoter's shitty? Like, how do you know? Because how do you know if your company's good, or if the shows you do with the guy that you training with is really legit? And so he basically wanted me to talk about that a little bit. So I said, okay, I'll probably hit on this. This is a couple weeks ago, or a couple days ago when he asked me. But so that basically, like, my thought on that is, if you work with a guy, a couple things. If you work with a guy who runs the company and shows, and by what I mean, not just the school, but the shows as well, and he wrestles on the shows. If he doesn't hire people better than himself, he's probably not the guy you want to be around. When you're a promoter and you're running a company and you're trying to be successful, you want to hire the best people you can, and you hire people who bring quality to your shows. How you hire people who you feel are better than you, who are better draw than you, and main thing is you got to pay those guys. It's part of the business. So myself, I hire Kratos and Choopy and Caljack when he's available, and Papa Esco and Sonico and fucking 4 Minutes of Heat, the Reno Scum, Vinny, Mustafa. I hire guys who I think bring something special to the table, or are better than me, who've done more than me, or guys I really trust, really. But guys like I said, the Scum and Kratos and Vinny, those guys are all better than me, So, obviously I'm not saying Mustafa and those guys aren't, but, those guys are just way better than me. So why wouldn't I want to use them? I want my talent pool to be, for two reasons. My talent pool to be the best around, because you want to have the best to draw money. And two, it makes me want to work harder. If I'm the best guy on my roster, you take shit off. You don't have to work hard because ain't nobody better than you, So you want to be surrounded by the best people. And the way people outside view your company is that that's a legit company. Now you may build a little circle where you and your circle think this is the best thing ever, but on the whole, you want to have guys that aren't always on every show every weekend. That people have to make a special trip to go see. Not that, I'll just watch them tomorrow and then that other show at the flea market or whatever. So that's one of the ways I judge it. You have a promoter that basically gives himself the belt, or purposely he won't give himself the belt, but he's always got to be the main. He's always got to be, the main fucking storyline. Myself, I don't like being in the fucking main event unless it's like at my high school, obviously, it's for obvious reasons. I like being middle. Anybody who fucking worked with me for a while knows the match I want to be in is what? I want to be in 4. I want to be in match 4, so I'm done in intermission. I can just chill and relax and watch a show. With the Reno Scum on the show, Adam always wants to be 4. I give him carte blanche to do it, and he takes my 4 spot. So yeah, I just look at it that way, man. You got to look at your guys on the show and on the roster. And if you're watching, some of these guys on the indie scene and seeing them do big things, and they're not on your show, you got to question that why. And usually it's because the promoter doesn't want to spend money on these guys, but that's why their draw is pretty weak. And you could draw 100 people and say you had a great crowd, and it might be a great crowd that could be loud as hell. But when you're paying quality guys and you're paying good guys, 100 people at a show, it's not really a big deal. That's I did one show at the teen center that was like 105, I think, and we barely paid our bills. So it was really rough. But so I don't know, man. I just look at it that way. Like, you got to look at the talent pool around, and and just see, like, man, I seen this guy on TV, or I seen this guy on MLW, or I seen this guy on wherever, and you're thinking like, shit, why aren't I on those shows? Those are the shows I want to be on, So that's just one of the things I look at. Just look at the talent of the show, and and the other thing that I tell people is when you have a trainer, and he's becomes your buddy right away, it's a fucking red flag. When he's inviting you over to the house to chill and hang out, it's there's ulterior motives there usually. And I'm not saying you can't be friends with your trainer or whatever, but that shit should take time. There's got to be a line that can't be crossed at first. And the reason being is because it's like anything. If you're the boss and I'm your best friend and I'm brand new, and I want to do this, but I can't miss practice because of this, or I got to be late to a show because of this. And I tell you, no, you can't. You better be there on time. But we're friends, and it just becomes something different. You start getting treated differently than other people, and it just becomes a buddy thing. And I mean, I have a story behind that too. But so I just look at it that way. Like, for me, in the wrestling business, new people come and go. So as a vet, you don't invest too much time into somebody new until they prove that they're going to be there for the long haul. Then you can open up a little bit more. Some of my best friends right now were, sorry about that, Phil, too much, not enough storage on my phone, so I had to delete some stuff. But it's back to what I was saying, I have a lot of friends now that didn't start off as friends at first in the wrestling business. They were students, they were just they weren't even wrestlers. Sometimes they're managers, referees, promoters, owners, whatever. And you build up a relationship with them over time because you start off with a business relationship, and then it becomes more of a personal relationship. And you, like the great man once said, you judge a man by his character, not by the color of his skin or whatever. So you judge somebody by their character, what the dealings you've had with them, and you still, at some point you gotta keep it business and friendship a little bit separate, but. There's a lot of people who don't understand what having character in the wrestling business is. And some people want to put themselves on a pedestal, basically make themselves their own legend, and make themselves bigger than they really are, kind of bigger than the wrestling business. But one thing you have to understand in the wrestling business that it's not about what greenhorns talk about you. It's about what the other vets talk about you. And if quality vets don't speak highly of somebody, that's probably not a person that is going to get you to where you need to be. There's a lot of guys that go around newer in the business. They buy a ring, and all of a sudden they're legends. And they've start name dropping and telling you this body of work they have that nobody really knows. I have this thing I've always told the kids that, and I don't need to talk about what I've done because people do it for me. I've been on the road with a lot of great people, good wrestlers, good workers, and guys who are well known in the business. And I don't have to tell who my friends are or who I'm close with or who I hang out with or who I've traveled with or whatever. Those guys know, and that's all that matters. So just when you're picking a school, picking a company to work for, just like I always say, do your research, man, and ask around I put it this way, ask around to guys who were in the area wrestling a lot and don't anymore. The way you become successful is you leave an area and you wrestle other places. There was a long time where I wasn't wrestling in Sacramento a lot. All my stuff was up in Oregon and Washington and down in LA. And that's how I got this body of work that travels a lot of places. Did I become a big star? Nah. I got some pop, I'm well known in some places. Some places don't give a shit about me. So I just know that the circle of friends I have is fucking some amazing people, and they have my back. So when you're picking somewhere to go, just do your homework, man. Do your research. Don't settle for nothing. Don't settle for, there's a couple key things people do. Some will say, you have to train for 2 years. You have to train for this amount of time. It doesn't matter the length of time you train. It's the opportunities you have to be in the ring learning. So example, the Hart Dungeon, they were 5 days a week for 2 months, and then you started wrestling shows and you learned the rest in the ring. Some companies will tell you come 2 days a week for 2 years and you'll be trained. is one right, is one wrong? No, it's just there's no set example. You know, one thing I tell people is there was a time where there was no wrestling school. You buddied up with a wrestler, you went on the road and you'd beat your ass every night, and then you'd get in a match and you'd get your ass kicked again, and little by little they'd give you some stuff and teach you how to do some things, and then you become a wrestler. So another thing people do is just charge the cheapest price, and that's not necessarily what you want to go for, is the cheapest price. Not saying the training isn't better than some, but there's some people who are going to charge you a little bit of money because they want to get more people in, which is understandable. But it's like anything. It's like anything in life. You get what you pay for, and not saying it takes 10 grand to train somebody to pay to 10 grand to train somebody either, but you know, there's a thing called inflation, and prices should go up. And for me, my time is worth money, so I'm not going to charge a small amount of money just to keep my doors open. You know, my time's money, and I feel you're getting a good education in wrestling, and I feel you're getting good connections in wrestling when you train with me. So I charge a certain amount for it. So just, you know, weigh the options. And I know it always seems, well, I'll just go here, it's way cheaper. Or man, I'll just go here because they have this big old building that they train out of, you know, and this guy told me he knows this guy, and he said he knows this guy. And, you know, so just, you know, do your research around, man. And the main thing is, you know, don't worry about distance and things like that. You have to drive sometimes farther to train. Go for where you feel comfortable with. Go watch a class if they let you, and go watch some of their shows. And if you feel totally like this is the guy to get you somewhere, then go, man. Be you know, Godspeed. Do what you got to do. But the main thing is don't just get duped into somewhere because, you know, this is the first person you talk to, or this is the first name that came up on the internet when you searched it, or, you know, so just be smart, because this is something that's going to affect your life in the wrestling business and your regular life for a long time. So it's a big step, you know. Just really do your research. There's a lot of good schools out there. There's a lot of I wouldn't say necessarily shitty schools. There's a lot of shitty people training people, and it's not necessarily a school. It's just, I got a ring, let's go train over here, you know. So anyways, man, I'm going to end it with that before I get too pissed off and start talking shit. But please like, subscribe, click the bell icon, get the word out there. Please help me get some more viewers on. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life right now, and it's been crazy. I haven't been able to post a lot, but hey, man, I'm gonna be back in the swing of things, doing what I do. Love y'all. Later.